So now we're going to take some of our knowledge and we are actually going to find different trig ratios without the use of a calculator. Before we go into that, we need to know if these trig ratios, where they land on our unit circle. So what quadrant they're going to be in and whether they're going to be positive or negative. Now, remember that all of our x coordinates are represented by cosine and all of our y coordinates are represented by sine. So let's just go ahead and write out if things are going to be positive or negative. In this quadrant, we know that we have a positive x and a positive y. If we look over here, and don't forget, tangent is just sine divided by cosine, right? We'll go back and fill it in. So if we have cosine positive, sine positive, we know that our tangent's also going to be positive. So in this quadrant, we will have all of our values being positive. If we look over here into this quadrant, we have negative x, which means our cosine's going to be negative, positive sine, and if we do our tangent, we have a negative, or a positive divided by negative, which will give us a negative. The only positive here is going to be our sine. We look down in our third quadrant, we have negative x and negative y. So negative cosine and sine, but if I divide those two, tangent is going to be positive. So our tangent will be positive. Then we go over here to our last one. We have positive x, or positive cosine, negative sine. So, and then if we divide the two, we'll get a negative. The only positive here is cosine. So one way to remember this is all students take calculus, and that'll help us determine what ratios are positive or negative. So let's go ahead and look at sine of 120. So the first thing I do is I draw in my unit circle, and the sine of 120 I know is going to land here. And our sine, all students take calculus, our sine is going to be a positive solution. Our reference angle here, the reference angle is 60 degrees. This is our reference angle here, 60 degrees. So that gives me an idea that I need to draw my 30, 60, 90 triangle. So I'll go up here and draw my 30, 60, 90. Here's 30, 60, and I'll put in my 2 root 3, 1, and the sine of 60 is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is going to be root 3 over 2. That's our answer, positive root 3 over 2. Negative cosine of 30, well, that's just negative 1 times the cosine of 30. So all we have to do is find the cosine of 30. 30 degrees lands here. We know all of our values are going to be positive, so we just have to worry about cosine of 30 being positive. We're looking at our 30, 60, 90. If you draw each time, this stuff will become more natural to you as the lesson goes on. So the cosine of 30 is adjacent. Is that my 30? Ooh, I just noticed a mistake. The sine is opposite. So let's go back here and fix this one. I don't have anybody here to check my work. The sine is opposite. Nope, never mind. I was looking at 60 degrees here. I thought it was 30, so we're good there. Over here, we have the cosine of 30, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's negative 1 times root 3 over 2. That gives us negative root 3 over 2 for our final answer. The tangent of 150, draw in your unit circle. 150 will land here. All students take calculus. S is the only positive, so this is going to be a negative answer. And tangent of 50, the reference angle is 30 degrees. So I'm looking at my 30, 60, 90. and tangent is opposite over adjacent, 1 over 2. I'm going to give you a minute right now to go back and fill in the next ones and try those ones on your own.